It's time to check in with Doc Rob and the Concierge for Better Living. We take a real, raw, inside look at healthier living while sharing great ideas and improvements for a better quality of life. The Concierge for Better Living will help informed, intrigued, and interested listeners like you make better choices for yourselves and your loved ones. CannabisRadio.com proudly presents The Concierge for Better Living with your host, Doc Rob.
This is Doc Rob with Concierge for Better Living. Excited to be back. Extremely excited to have my guest today, Brandon, the Truth Vera, MMA superstar, heavyweight, knockout artist. Hey, Brandon, how are we doing today?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me on the show, bud.
No, my pleasure, man. You're awesome. I love watching the fans get so excited. I remember seeing that one guy, you probably get it all the time, but I was there in Chicago, and this guy was just, I don't know, he was an adult back into childhood. He just jumped on top of you and hugged you, and it was just, I loved it, man. It must make you feel good having such good fans.
It's really cool, man. It's really cool to have fans that appreciate the sport and appreciate what you do. You know, it's definitely, you can see it around the world, and every time it happens, it's like the brand new thing again. It's funny and awesome all at the same time.
Well, speaking about all around the world, just finished a good training session and a successful knockout, and back in the Philippines. How was all that fighting, and how was that going down the Philippines and fighting out there?
You know, being in the Philippines was amazing. You know, both my parents, well, my father and my mother who raised me, mom, they're both from the Philippines. So I have a lot of family out there. I'd say about 70% of our family is still out there in the Philippines. And to be home, to be able to perform like that in front of my family, in front of my fellow countrymen, to my second home, it was amazing, man. The treatment that we got over there and how everybody was, how polite and welcoming everybody was. Then the fight, it just went down exactly how I dreamed it would. That almost never happens. So it was definitely a good thing. It was surprising. It was a good thing. It was amazing. The guys were awesome. It was just an amazing trip, man. I'm glad that my coaches and some of my family got to come see it.
What I always think of is it's great to have that result, but only a select few understand the amount of hard work and training that went into it. It wasn't just that you're a big guy and boom, walk into the ring and there it goes. You put a lot of work. So when did you go down there? You were training down in the Philippines for a while before the fight, right?
No, I was planning on doing my camp out there, but it worked out that a lot of my training partners could not go.
Okay.
So the most important thing to having for MMA or for my sport, combat sports, period, is you have to have training partners. No matter how many coaches you have or who's teaching you what, you have to have training partners. You need to be able to apply, I would say, your book knowledge to your actual physical world. And when I found out this couldn't come, I had to scratch the 2-month training camp in the Philippines, do it all here stateside in San Diego, and just head out there probably, I think I went out there 10 days before instead of 8 weeks. It worked out good, man. My coaches came with me. Some training partners were already there, so it worked out awesome. Training was awesome. It was hard. I had to deal with some injuries, but we pulled through it and came out a phenomenal knockout like that.
I love it. Yeah, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. You know, as a doctor and a health guy, I love to kind of, you know, I have individual clients and they have different needs. Someone in your profession would have different needs than someone who's a road warrior for business, or a singer that travels and does 20 shows a month, you know, on stage. So, but it still requires hard work and dedication. And you know, when you have injuries, like I've had some singers and bands, and if they lose their voice, okay, they're not going on stage, and they lose a lot of business. If you can't, you know, be physically ready for a fight, there goes not just that shot, but it could be impacting to many others, right?
Exactly, yeah. I didn't think about that. Those guys lose their voice, they're stuck on tour especially.
And one of the things I like to ask guests is for 2 tips, 2 health-inspired tips, little things or big things, little things that you would listen, you know, suggest or things that mean a lot to you. It could be physical, it could be emotional, mental. Don't give it to me now. Give it to me before we wrap up tonight. But I didn't want to put you on the hot seat too much. So if you're thinking about a couple of tips, but we met in a couple different ways as far as specifically CBD or cannabidiol, and one of the constituents of cannabis. And that's also something I want to talk about when it comes to some of the research I've read on MMA fighting and concussions.
I've had some flash knockouts, not all the way out, but definitely where I lose control of my body and I can't move even if somebody's coming after me. So I've definitely had to deal with some of that. A lot of fighters have to, including all sports, man, from football to
even soccer,
combat sports.
Yeah, exactly.
I have noticed that I do get hit in the head more than I would like, and I believe that the CBDs are helping. I was talking to you guys last time we were at a conference and talking about how CBDs could actually help repair neural pathways in the brain, and I had no idea. And when I heard that, I remember I came home and I just started telling all the guys about it. When I say the guys, like it's the who's who list of MMA, everybody from Phil Davis to Alex Gustafsson, Dominic Cruz, just the who's who in the MMA right now. And they couldn't believe it, and they started doing research on their own. And, man, all of them are getting pumped up about making something happen with CBD. They can't wait. And I keep saying CBDs instead of just CBD because there's more than one CBD, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, you have CBD, you have CBDA, which is in the raw form, and then CBD. So those are both considered CBDs, and I think you're doing it right. And I'm happy to hear these guys, are listening to you and doing some research. And, I think it's going to be a major benefit, especially when you have these younger kids getting into the sport so early on.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
I think that's a big – I mean, I deal with a lot with children, as you know, with, seizures and autism and all these things. But people who just in anything from Pop Warner football to, starting in martial arts or MMA, I think they need to start realizing it's to protect the physical body and the brain as well as, the mental preparation. So – very cool. I mean, I didn't get a chance to catch Alex's fight the other day. I was actually on a plane and I caught all the pre-fights, and then just when he's about to go on the main event, I have to land and get off the plane. So I was a little bit bummed about missing that fight. What I did notice was in the
fight.
Yeah, he said even there was a replay showing that he got headbutted. So there he goes, right a blow to the head from head-to-head contact.
Exactly.
It could be any way unsuspecting. But I also saw what you said earlier about your training partner was that Anthony Johnson brought in a really tall, lanky training partner to help him prepare for any kind of differences. I think that's again your training partner, as you said, is got to be key for getting you ready for the fight. So, very cool stuff. Personally, me, it's never been my sport. I'm much of a book nerd, but I'm a big fan anyway. I remember when I lived in Scottsdale, it was just getting big. This was over 10, 12, 15 years ago. And one of my colleagues or classmates was a really in-shape guy, muscles, ripped, not a big guy, but he was totally, physically looking like Adonis. And they put him in the ring the first time, and because he looked so strong and good, he put him with a veteran fighter. This was the guy's first time in the ring. And in 2 seconds, the guy got behind him and put him out literally in 2.5 seconds. And I was just like, just because you look good doesn't mean you fight well. So those are exactly. I want to point out too. There's a lot of skill, not just size and strength. And I remember going back to the days of just Tank Abbott and just grabbing a beer and hitting you with the right hand. That was the whole fight. But the sport has evolved, and I'm hoping that with that, the progressiveness of MMA, they will see the benefits of CBD and support it as a sport, just like we're trying to get the NFL to adopt better rules and guidelines to protect their players as well. We know that's a big issue in the NFL.
Exactly.
This is great. Well, we're going to go into a break, and I really appreciate it. We're going to come right back with you with some more questions. I got a few more things for you. I'm again excited to talk to you again, Brandon, and I think we're both enjoying the lovely San Diego weather right now. But all my friends in the Northeast, just a quick shout out and in the Midwest, they're freezing their butts. Come down to the South.
I know.
Stay
That's my
warm.
favorite part about being here in San Diego. We get to watch the bad weather.
Yeah. Again, I love to travel, but I like to book my trips according to the weather. I'll stay south right now unless I get some snow. Cool. We'll be right back. Listen to a brief break. We're with Brandon the Truth Vera. It's their Concierge for Better Living with Doc Rob.
The Concierge for Better Living will continue in a moment. Great websites today need expert web design and development and need to be e-commerce ready and mobile friendly. But building a marketable and profitable website can be an uphill climb. Ready to make your new website or replace your existing website? Think Orange as the new way to get in the black. Orange Hill Development works with Fortune 500 companies and offer the same top quality development service at a fraction of what other providers charge. Brands like Absolute, Carlsberg, and Nestea trust Orange Hill Development. Find out why you should trust your website with Orange Hill. Contact Orange Hill for a consultation today at orangehilldevelopment.com.
Educator, author, and advocate Dr. Mitch Earlywine is here to tackle the burning issues.
And I'm here to clear up the myths about cannabis and burn them away with science.
CannabisRadio.com presents a no-holds-barred platform that seeks to redefine and revolutionize the entire scope of the cannabis culture while opening the door for more to join the cannabis crusade.
Dr. Kevin Hill.
You can't ignore the fact that, like alcohol, most people who use don't have a problem. So I think that you need to think about policy in that way while educating people properly about marijuana. I think that's the way to go.
Burning Issues, only on CannabisRadio.com. The smoke is rising, and the next crop of podcasts devoted to cannabis providers and enthusiasts are ready to be harvested. Welcome to the Cannabis Radio Network, founded by respected rainmakers who have been producing award-winning podcasts for over a decade. Industry headlines, business updates, medical reports, marketing, and e-commerce education rolled up perfectly for your consumption. Let's grow together. The Cannabis Radio Network. CannabisRadio.com.
Let's check back in with Doc Rob and the Concierge for Better Living, only on CannabisRadio.com.
And we're back. This is the Concierge for Better Living with Doc Rob. My awesome guest today is MMA superstar Brandon the Truth Vera. One of the nicest guys I've met out there. I do a lot of trade shows. I do a lot of traveling. And again, I'm thanks again for being on the show, Brandon. And
no worries.
No, you're just, again, you're approachable, you're accessible. And as I mentioned earlier, the fans love you. You take the time out for the fans, which I really like. I saw that right away. The ladies don't mind you either. That's not a bad thing either in the sport. But there's a lot of good MMA fans. I mentioned a couple of my friends. I'm going to interview Brandon. Like, oh, really? Wow, I love him. It's great.
Tell them all I said hello.
So we'll have to throw a little meet and greet party here in San Diego one day when I have some more time. And I just left a new startup in Chicago called Vibe Up Events, and what they did was they had like 2 yoga classes, and then they had like organic cocktails and drinks and healthy food, and in a nightclub, in a bar, on a Friday night, and they filled both classes. They packed about 160, 180 people in, mostly 20, 30-year-old. Again, I'll say more girls than guys. I tell people I had a Lululemon overload that night. It seemed like that they were sponsoring it. But what I wanted to say was it's interesting how this young adult culture has shifted to a healthier attitude. They might want to go out at night and socialize, but they're drinking less. They want to get up for yoga. They want to train. They want to, that health and fitness is taking in that younger generation. I don't know if you've seen it. A lot more younger people probably getting into the sport. Your sport. I think, I don't know if you, obviously San Diego, California, that's kind of a no-brainer. But when I see it like in the Midwest and Chicago and New York and other areas of the country, you definitely see that health isn't a mainstream trend right now.
It is. It's a big deal. And I thought, like you said, it was just in Southern California. Over here on the West Coast is kind of the first place I've ever seen they have 2 giant coolers for milk. Like, you have everything from rice milk, coconut milk, regular milk, all the way up to raw, organic, whole milk, and I've never seen that before. So I started learning about that here. I started paying attention to how my food is grown, finding out about GMOs, finding out about CBD, finding out about all this healthy stuff. And so I just been educating myself more and more, along with the other fighters and the rest of the people of the world, especially our younger generation. And then I thought maybe it's just a West Coast thing. I just came back from Virginia in December, and for the holidays, and all of my friends over there in Virginia, we're Southern Virginia, we're considered the South, and it's amazing. Everybody there was talking about cooking with coconut oil and not eating GMOs and staying away from the Crisco, and I was like, what? Hold on, man. You're supposed to fry food out here. So I think what's really happening is, the younger generation, we're starting to see the effects of not taking care of your body in our parents, in our grandparents, in our uncles and aunts that are older than us, and kind of going through health issues right now with all sorts of problems on the pills that they announce on TV, and that it could kill you if you take it and make you drive your car while you're still sleeping, So I think the younger generation is starting to look for more natural, holistic ways of taking care of their body, whether it just be through basic exercise and watching what they eat.
Yeah, it's funny you said Virginia. When I started my career as an educator in the natural products industry over 12 years ago, I got to travel all over the United States. I hit like 500 health food stores a year. I talked to the people in the stores, and Southern Virginia actually is what it caught my attention. There's a nice family, owned a few different health food stores, 2 brothers and a sister, and it was a nice family business, and they were just genuinely trying to help their community. They asked me to come in and do extra talks and one-on-ones, and I'm like, why are you pushing me on this? He's like, because there's no one else here. Their idea of healthy food is, and maybe an egg when they go to Waffle House or something like that. It wasn't like there was nothing. It was fried on this and fried on that, like you said, but they were starting to see this trend of interest. And now, as you said, recently, fast forward it, the younger generation have adopted it, and I look at role models like yourself. I think a lot of these young people only saw the end result. They don't understand the hard work and the dedication and the discipline and eating healthier and taking those action steps. But more and more, today is actually my mom's birthday, and
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's your mom's birthday." I'm like, "Yeah, but less than 9 months ago, 10 months ago, the doctor told her that she was told her she had 2 months to live because she had cancer." And so, that was the conventional, standard doctor response. Thankfully, I have my own training and my own contacts, and we went a lot more natural and integrative and holistic, and we looked at research, and we found some traditional remedies like mushrooms and, green tea. And I'm not saying one thing was the answer because I don't believe in that, but as a cumulative effect of good choices and good changes, she's doing better today and her cancer's under control. So, I think
that's way too awesome.
It's great. I mean, I'm happy to be able to announce that, obviously, and celebrate her life. But why wait till we're in that age where we're already sick? And unfortunately, kids are getting sicker younger and younger. I have a dear friend who's working on getting over cancer right now, and she's not even 40. In her mid-30s, single mom, and that's not right. It's just not right in our society. So I'm happy to hear, and I'm excited to support and promote healthier choices and better eating and avoiding those GMOs and that high fructose corn syrup. And it's not that hard to do if you do a little thing, 2 things at a time. That's kind of why I kind of led you in that with those 2 tips. I'm trying to get a whole big database of 2 tips from different people and different experts, and all I tell people is pick 2 of them at a time, and you'll see how easy it is to get excited about being healthier. I know you found it, and I love hearing about that too. So when it comes to diet, that's one of the things. I went to culinary school after I became a doctor, and everyone thought I was crazy 12 years ago about, what do you mean culinary, you're going to be a cook? I said, no, every person that I ever meet, whether they're sick or healthy, eats. So if we can have a common bond and a common foundation to start from, food is medicine. Do you have any particular diets or special foods or things you avoid, things like that really kind of you've noticed made a big difference?
I don't really try to avoid anything unless I'm 100%. If I read something on the back of the label that says high fructose corn syrup, I don't buy it.
Right.
Now they're getting smart. They don't call it high fructose corn syrup anymore. I think they just call it fructose. I think that's the name that they changed it to. I really don't try to avoid anything. I just try to take everything in moderation and eat as healthy as I can. I don't, I like fried chicken, so I'll have fried chicken probably once, twice every 2 months, I try to keep a natural balance in my life with everything, from exercise to my food. You have to, because I can't eat super healthy all the time. I'll lose my mind. I would lose my mind if I had to eat so good all the time. The bad food, there's a reason why that stuff's bad, because it tastes really good. So I still partake. I still enjoy. I just make sure I do it at a very, very, very conservative way.
I'm with you right there. And that moderation is key. And one of the things I would tell people is don't get down on yourself. Like for me, if I travel a lot, as you know, so do you. If it's something that I just want to eat, it's worse to make yourself feel bad than the actual food itself make you feel bad. I think it's if you just say, look, you know what, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm grateful for having it. There's people around the world that don't even have the option. I just got to say on the positive side, mentally and emotionally, and the food won't hurt me so bad physically. So we're going to take a quick break. Come back again. Awesome stuff from Brandon Vera. This is Doc Rob, your concierge to better living.
The Concierge for Better Living will continue in a moment.
InternetMarketingNinjas.com is the online dojo of the highly trained and skilled Internet Marketing Ninjas. Disavow documents, reconsideration requests, panda and penguin penalties. Let our superior SEO ninjas confront all of your link-related issues. The Internet Marketing Ninjas are equipped to master any marketing exercise, content creation, authorship, link building, PPC, and more. Plus, build more buzz for your brand with our social media marketing strategy. Discover all that the Internet Marketing Ninjas can do for you. Visit the online dojo now at InternetMarketingNinjas.com.
Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina. Candid.
I want to give you the inside story.
Captivating.
I want to introduce you to my kind and amazingly talented friends.
Compelling.
We get to meet some of the most amazing cannabis activists and warriors around.
Listen in as medical marijuana pioneer Dr. Dina shares never-before-heard stories, chats with cannabis insiders and celebrity friends, and provides invaluable perspective and insight into one of the fastest-growing industries in the world.
I want to share with you what was once confidential information. Let's expose the truth, discuss the issues, and learn the facts.
Cannabis Confidential, only on CannabisRadio.com.
Growing green to generate more green.
Hello to all you happy herbalizers, smiling trippy hippies, and everyone who believes in freedom and tolerance. This is The Grow Show, and I'm Kyle Cushman.
From food to fuel, from remedy to resource.
Welcome my guest, Ed Rosenthal, the guru of ganja. Let me ask you, right now I hear your lighter clicking. Are you smoking indoor or are you smoking sun-grown?
What am I smoking? I'm smoking concentrate.
Way to get out of the answer there. So you're truly like the king, right? You just clap your hands and somebody brings you a bowl and you're all set, right?
I wish that were the case.
The Grow Show with Kyle Cushman, only on CannabisRadio.com. Let's check back in with Doc Rob and the Concierge for Better Living, only on CannabisRadio.com.
This is Doc Rob, Concierge for Better Living, with my guest today, Brandon the Truth Vera. We're talking about food, balance, life, CBD, concussions, all the good stuff. We're talking about a solid knockout win in the Philippines, and we're having a lot of fun. Yeah, man, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the food, and we were just talking about food. For too many times people go, I wish I was healthy like you, Doc. I'm like, man, if I lived in one place, back in my house, my kitchen, shopped, my diet would be different than when I'm on the road from hotel to hotel. And if I got myself down every time I didn't get the perfect meal, that would be worse for my health and my attitude than even the food itself. And so I tell people, find comfort, and it's not always about what you exclude, which is something I thought you just said recently, which was great. It's not just leaving and eliminating or avoiding. It's also things you can put in and add into your diet, like superfoods, like healthy nutrition. Like, I'm a big hemp fan, and we're doing a lot more hemp proteins and hemp products with and without CBD. But the hemp plant is a great source of nutrition and protein. Have you seen a lot of athletes who are going to becoming more plant-based, but still looking at getting the protein from plants? I mean, I think the old method was eat as much meat as you could to build protein. I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing a lot more vegan, vegetarian athletes. Is that something that you've seen in your sport?
I don't, in our sport, in MMA, I don't really see too many vegan athletes. There's maybe two.
Okay.
But they all yell out that they're carnivores, me included, Omnivores, we eat whatever's available. A lot of them are still eating meat, still doing all of that stuff, but now have started looking to plants for protein, which is crazy because it doesn't sound correct, but it is. You have to know which plants to eat. And a lot of them are incorporating that into their diet. I am kind of. Hemp protein's a little too grainy for me still. I've tried so many different kinds, but I mix my one scoop of hemp protein plus my other two regular scoops of protein. So I'm incorporating it slowly. I tried to go hardcore for 2 weeks, just hemp protein, and at the end of the 2 weeks, I just couldn't do it anymore. It was always in my teeth.
Yeah. Well, everybody people doing a spectrum of protein. It's a spectrum of foods. A spectrum is always the best, in my opinion. So I like to lean a little bit more plant-based, but I definitely I'm what I call qualitarian or conscious consumer. I like to have good quality, and that's another reason why California is so great. And I was thinking about that. There was an opportunity to open a wellness center here in Southern California, and I'm thinking about it just so I can have access to all the great farmers markets and organic produce. And I think that raw milk company that you mentioned, because I knew them, Organic Pastures out of Fresno, they did organic raw milk, organic raw butter, which is amazing, by the way. It was this bright golden yellow butter. They even had raw colostrum, which is the first milk from the cow that's loaded in immune boosting properties. And they had a chocolate one. So I'm not a big dairy person, but when I used to come to California, and it's making me think about going to get this after we're done. They used to have these bottles of raw organic chocolate colostrum, and it was like a delicacy, as if you're eating like caviar, or not for every day, but if you're this kind of special superfood, I thought was kind of unique. California food. Awesome. Yeah, California food has its advantages. I know for sure, and I'm sure going out of the country, there's other areas, Europe and so forth, South America, that are really pushing back against GMOs and not allowing them to predominate their market. And I love it. That makes me want to travel where I don't have to ask, what's in this. When you eat a fruit or a vegetable, you don't have to worry about the label usually. But now with genetically modified, kind of have to do so. So what do you have coming up?
In those other countries?
Yeah, go ahead.
In those other countries, the fruit tastes different. In the other countries, they just taste way different than they do here in the States.
Yeah.
They're not as big, but they taste exactly how it should taste, I think.
There was some research that said like a peach from the 1950s, when the soil was less abused and they weren't using all the chemicals and they were doing it more naturally, they say to get the same nutritional value of a peach from the 1950s, you'd have to have like 18 or 20 peaches of today's peaches. It's like the nutritional density isn't there anymore, and it's sad, but, hopefully we're starting to see this awakening, this youth movement of becoming more conscious consumers. As you see, I think just Lay's potato chips came out with organic Lay's and organic Doritos. So when you see something like that, where they're seeing the demand for organic in a mainstream brand like Lay's, the tides are turning, and I'm glad to be part of it. And I'm glad
organic Doritos. Oh, sorry, Rob.
You got to go hit the store, right? Check it out. But no.
I'm going. I'll be back.
Well, we're wrapping up, but again, it's been great. Do you have anything coming up in the near future, or are you just kind of resting and recovering still?
I probably have a trip in Asia coming soon. I'm going to Guam and then to the Philippines. I was thinking maybe doing some stuff with 1FC in Kuala Lumpur, but we'll see what 1FC has in store for me for sure. I'm looking forward to traveling. Like you, I like traveling.
Yeah, me too. Got to hit the road. For our listeners, and that, of course, many of them are probably already fans, but those that aren't, where can they connect with you? What's your best resource? I know I connect with you on Facebook all the time. Is that a good source, or?
Yeah, Facebook's a great spot to get me there, or my Instagram account. My Instagram is Buddha Bear, at Buddha Bear, BUDDAHBEAR.
Okay.
And then my Instagram is just my Facebook is / Brandon Vera MMA.
Awesome.
Send me a message on that. I'll get back to you sooner or later. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, sooner or later, it takes about 3 days.
Yeah, people should understand you're a busy guy. That's okay. But I know you do get back to people. You do make the effort to reach your fans, and that's awesome. And thank you again for taking the time to be on the show today. We'll definitely talk some more. We got some other projects I hope we can work on together going forward. Maybe when I'm in San Diego, you'll put me through the works one day on camera and beat me up in the gym, and not really beat me up. I mean, just for Hollywood style. But anyway, this is Doc Rob.
I'm in.
Thank you so much, Brandon, the Truth Vera. You're the man. Those reaching out for me, DocRob.com, Doc Rob on Twitter, Doc Rob with an S on Instagram, because I own it, it's mine. This is the Concierge for Better Living with Doc Rob. Wishing you all the best in health and happiness.
The opinions expressed on this Cannabis Radio Network program are those of the guests and hosts, and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Cannabis Radio Network. Any rebroadcast or retransmission without proper consent of the Cannabis Radio Network is prohibited.